Thank you. Okay, so my talk today is called Make Something Great and Then Sell It to People. So as Tina said, I'm one half of Studio Neat along with Tom Gerhardt, and we make stuff. So last year we released the Glyph. It's a small, oh thank you. It's a small piece of plastic that you can use as a mount to mount your iPhone to a tripod. And it also works as a little kickstand, so if you want to watch movies or FaceTime or whatnot. So this was our first Kickstarter project, and we managed to raise $137,000. So this blew us away and pretty much launched Studio Neat as a company. 6 months later, we unveiled the Cosmonaut, which is a wide grip stylus for touchscreen devices, and comes in 2 colors. And this again was a Kickstarter project, and we raised $134,000. So Tom and I are both designers, and we've kind of been in this area for a while, and we've kind of realized there seem to be 2 approaches to starting a business. So the idea of the startup is obviously a thing. And you typically, there's some kind of investment funds coming in, VC, and it seems that these days there are 2 paths that this can go in. You can either get big, you know, like an Instagram or a Twitter or what have you, or get bought by a larger company. So it seems like it's difficult to intentionally stay small. But there is another option, which is to make something great and then sell it to people. And so how can this happen? You know, what has changed in the last few years that where this kind of shift is occurring, or this trend? So in the past, you might get an idea for something you want to make. You'll probably sketch it out on a napkin or in a sketchbook, and then you kind of hit a roadblock. Mainly for money reasons, but you know, it's very difficult to prototype things. It's very difficult to manufacture things. So there was a roadblock there. But now things are different. So you have an idea, same as before. You sketch it out, same as before. Now we have companies like Shapeways and Ponoco, where if you're these 3D printing and laser cutting and all these prototyping solutions that didn't even exist 5 years ago now make it very financially reasonable to iterate your idea. And then, of course, the next step is things like Kickstarter, these amazing funding platforms to, make your project possible and have the funds to begin manufacturing. So then, Premier Source is our US-based manufacturer that we use for our stuff, and we were kind of blown away by how realistic and approachable these manufacturers were. They didn't shy away from just helping 2 dudes that had no manufacturing experience whatsoever. Marketing is also different these days. If you play your cards right and make something kind of cool, you could get lots of free press and not really have to pay for marketing at all. And then we have, once you have your product and it's built, we have services like Shopify and other things where you can create an e-commerce store almost as easily as setting up an email account. And then shipping your product out is obviously a difficult thing, but we have services like Shipwire and Amazon to take care of that. So all of this stuff, it kind of forms this linear story, and very few of these things existed, a few years ago. So it's kind of a crazy shift. So just a couple examples of some cool things that are happening. This one, I don't know if anyone's heard of this, but it's what I think is kind of amazing about this is somewhat hyperbolic, but it seems like it went from idea to business in like a weekend, which is crazy, and that was, not possible a few years ago. Here's kind of a recent example, a little bit different, but Louis C.K. is a comedian, and he released a 1-hour comedy special independently to download DRM free for $5. So basically what's happening is there's this idea of people making stuff and people buying stuff. And in the past, there's a bunch of friction in between those two things, and a bunch of clutter, and a lot of people and things. And now there's a shift where the people making stuff are just connecting directly with the people buying something, and there's something very satisfyingly simple and elegant about that. So I'll close here with a quote from Yancey Strickler, co-founder of Kickstarter. "A good idea, well crafted and pursued with passion, doesn't need a gatekeeper's stamp of approval to succeed." So that's it. Thanks.